First off, let me give you the hot take of the day. Khalil Rountree is going to walk through Pereira. That is the worst matchup I could think of. And let me explain. When we think of who's going to go fight for a title on pay-per-view, we think of other guys that have won a whole bunch of fights on pay-per-view. Well, Khalil was from SmackDown. He came from the other show. He's been fighting on the fight nights and at the Apex and things like this. He still won 6 in a row. He stopped 5 of those sons of guns, and one of them was a former number 1 contender, our good friend Lionheart. The better a guy becomes at something, the more he goes out of his way to get away from the fundamentals. The more he's going to put his elbow on his knee and things like this from a wrestling perspective. But Pierre is no different. These great strikers, the better they do, right on day one, you put your chin down and you put your hands up. But when these guys become really good, all of a sudden that chin's out there showing, and your hands are down here at your waist. You're trying to demonstrate for everybody, I'm so good at this, I don't even have to follow the fundamentals. Pereira will give an opportunity. He gives it to every opponent. He will give them the opportunity to hit him. I submit for you, Rountree only needs to hit him once. He does his absolute best work when he's being attacked by a kickboxer. It's not Khalil swarming somebody or taking them down or submitting them. He is a counter fighter, and he loves when you punch or kick at him first. Khalil Rountree not only deserves this fight, and I'll admit, I was surprised. I didn't think this is the direction they were going to go, but I'll tell you a problem. Khalil's going to win this fight.
I think Chael's crazy.
Yeah, he's out of his mind.
He's out of
in
his
a good
mind.
way.
I love Chael to death, but he's a little bit crazy there. I think that it's stylistically, it's a hard fight for both guys. There's about 100% chance of someone's getting knocked out. I don't see Khalil Rountree's he hasn't had one takedown attempt his entire UFC career. How crazy is that? But like, what are the chances? As many times as he's been in there, you've never been in a situation where your feet got all tangled up and you got close and you just kind of grabbed on just to shoot a takedown attempt to fill the space. Like, that's crazy to me that you've never even accidentally shot a takedown. But I don't like how willing Khalil is to give up ground and look to counter. Alex Pereira is a really, really tricky guy, and it seems like letting him walk you down to the fence makes it to where you can only go one way or the other. At the level that Alex Pereira fights at on his feet, taking all those options away from yourself seems like a bad idea. I mean, if you really want me to get deep into the X's and O's, I think that recently Khalil has been giving up some distance and space when he's in there. He wants to counter and he's really fast, but I had a hard time kind of tracking him down and getting a beat on him, but Alex is way better than I am in terms of striking. So I think that if Khalil sits back and lets Pereira walk him down like he let me do, it's going to be tough. I talked to John Wood and they're really excited. And I don't think I'm pulling the curtain back here at all. Like, they're really excited because this is like the type of matchup that they want. They don't want to have to worry about the wrestling. They don't want to have to worry about the jiu-jitsu and fighting off of his back and all that stuff. Like, it seems like both guys are just have this deal. Like, this is just what we're going to do, and we're going to figure it out on our feet.
And I believe that Khalil, once he puts his mind to whatever it is he wants to do, he's going to do it. He's been put up with these tests before, like Gokhan Saki came into the UFC as the best, arguably the best striker in the world at that point in time, and he went out there and knocked him out, and
you're right. That's a good point.
Very, very confident in that point in time of, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to knock him out. And that's what he did, and I think that obviously we realize that we're fighting, the best guy in the world, the biggest name in the world right now. But I think that the stars and the moon and everything is aligned up for us, and I think he's ready to handle it, and I think he's going to.
I know a lot of the fight fans are thinking, okay, Khalil's an explosive southpaw striker, but can he stand on the feet with somebody as high level as Alex Pereira? Remember one of the early fights in Khalil Rountree's career was Gokhan Saki, one of the best kickboxers in the world, and you look at the results on that one, Khalil knocked him clean out. One mistake, he left his chin up in the air, throwing a leg kick, Khalil capitalized on it. Look, Alex Pereira throws a lot of leg kicks. Khalil is an explosive southpaw. You saw how well he covered the distance against our friend Anthony Smith. That could happen in this fight. So don't just take this fight for granted. It's going to be a violent fight, but anything could happen in any moment of this matchup.
On paper, I don't know how Rountree can win against him. What he have to do, I just don't see that he won this fight. So, but it's a fight, so everything could happen. But I see that Pereira won this fight in, like KO in second round.
Pereira's gonna win that one.
The Rountree really turned the corner after he fought. I remember when I was fighting Rountree, I was like, he just really, when I was getting ready to fight him, he just didn't seem so aggressive as he is now. And I remember thinking, it's like, well, if he hits me, like everybody that he dropped, he didn't knock him out. He just, put him on the ground. So I was like, I think even if he does catch me, he did several times, and I was right. He put me on the ground and didn't never finish me. But Pereira is like, if he touches you, dude, that's a wrap. So I guess they both have a puncher's chance. Alex Pereira, like, he's got the reach, but he don't use the reach. And I think that could be a problem for him against a guy like Rountree. And he's left-handed too, Rountree, so his stance is backwards, which I know Pereira switches stances and stuff, but we all know it's his left hook that, is the bomb. So I think Pereira would probably get it done, actually. But Rountree, dude, I'm telling you, dude, if he get it, he's going to swarm him if he puts him on the ground. So I'm excited to see that matchup.
I have to go with Alex Pereira, right? Khalil, the only way I don't see this fight ending is by submission. If you said Khalil Rountree won by knockout, I'd be like, oh, okay. If you said Alex won by knockout, I'd be like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. I do think it's a tough fight for both, but Alex Pereira is just beating world champion after world champion after world champion. You got to go with Alex.
That's such a random fight too. Khalil's a beast though, man. I want Khalil to win. Like he's a tough mother, bro. Like just he's a fighter, like a real fighter. So I would love to see him get some shine and get that belt.
Does he win though, or do you think Pereira wins?
Khalil should take him down. If Khalil takes him down, he'll win.
Fair enough. Didn't answer my question.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins?
Pereira wins.
That's a scary one. That one's like a curveball because Khalil can crack too. So I'm going to go with Alex. Hopefully he's smart about keeping his hands up.
Shama.
I'm leaning towards the Pereira as well, but I think this is a great fight for both guys. Very dangerous fighter. Khalil Rountree has got some of the best striking as well. It comes from that Muay Thai background. So it's basically, this is going to be a Muay Thai fight. This is going to be a stand-up battle, toe-to-toe. Who's gonna be the better striker? But obviously I gotta lean towards my man Alex Pereira just because of his credentials and what he's done in the 185 and the 205 divisions in the UFC. He's got a left hook, that one hitter quitter power. And now Rountree's big and strong, but can he close the gap? Alex Pereira's got the longer reach. He's very calm. He's got very precise. Like he's like a sniper out there when it comes to his strikes. It's a very hard fight, but I think it's going to be exciting.
That's a tough one. If I'm Khalil, I would say Russell, but he's got knockout power too. They're both scary power punchers. Pereira, I think, utilizing those calf kicks, but then again, going to a Muay Thai style of Khalil, trying to play the kicking game with Khalil, I don't know if that's going to be the best plan of attack with Pereira. For Pereira to do that with Khalil, I think Khalil just seems a little bit cleaner in his traditional Muay Thai, but I think Pereira probably hits harder. He just has that touch of death. When he places his hand on your chin, guys just go down. It's the most freakishly looking thing. His fight with Jamaal Hill, his fight with Sean Strickland, Israel, these guys, he touches them and it's just like magic. They just drop. It's really fascinating. I don't know what his limbs, his bones are made out of. I know Khalil a little bit more than I know Pereira, but I respect both guys. Anyone that comes into the sport put in some hard work, especially getting to the top, even after some tough losses, I think is respectable. So with that being said, I respect both these guys' journey, and I just want to see a good fight. It just seems like Alex Pereira is always saving the day, so I hope his paycheck reflects that. And I'm not saying that like they didn't have a main event, but he just fought. For him to be turning around again like this, I'm like, bro, do you know what the word vacation means?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'll go with, I think Pereira is going to win, but I don't foresee it being super outside of the realm of possibility for Khalil to win, just because in that weight class, it's really just one punch that needs to land, and Khalil's very explosive. He's a really athletic guy, and he's mostly a kickboxer, so it might be a little bit closer than what we all think.
Honestly, that's a crazy fight. Just the way it all happened. Pereira's so good, and it's so hard to, pick against him. But I'm gonna be the bad guy, and I'm gonna root for Rountree on this one, just because I think he's just as dangerous, and he's awkward, and he's not like a conventional fighter. I think he could just be explosive and athletic and get it done, or get knocked out.
man, that's a closer fight than people think. People think, what the heck's going on? Alex Pereira is going to kill this guy. But stylistically, that is a very even matchup. Both these guys are Muay Thai strikers. Khalil's not going to be scared to go in there and really chop his legs down and really open up against Alex Pereira. Right now, Alex Pereira's got so much confidence in his hands. He's such a big guy. So I'm going to probably lean towards Alex Pereira, but I think it's going to be a good fight.
I think Khalil has a lot better chance than people are giving him credit for. I'm just very interested to see whether or not he actually tries to take advantage of grappling, because up to this point, other than Jan Blachowicz, there's guys that probably should have wrestled with him and chose not to for whatever reason. They paid the price for it. So I think Khalil Rountree, from the outside looking in, would probably have the more complete skill set because maybe his grappling is a little bit better. But again, it doesn't matter on paper what you have, it's what you do in the cage. So, and then you still got to get within the reach of Pereira and not get knocked out, which is no small feat, as we've come to find out over his UFC career. So I would still lean towards Pereira in that fight, but if Khalil starts wrestling his butt off and maybe gets a clinch and entices him, like, oh hey, we're gonna have a Muay Thai match, and then dumps him or gets a takedown, then he's got a good shot. But for right now, it'd be really hard to pick against the champ.
Yeah, dude, that's a banger, especially because none of them are taking a shot down. So, but I'm gonna go with Khalil. I feel like Alex Pereira has been known to get hit, and Khalil has some bombs. I think it's gonna be fun, but I think I'm gonna go with Khalil, honestly.
Oh, Chama.
Ooh, that's a good fight. That's a good fight, bro. I don't know. The guy, what's his name? The other guy?
Khalil Rountree, yeah.
Yeah, that guy, man. He's dangerous too. You know what I mean? Ever since he went to Thailand, I heard he got better or something. So, hey, this is going to be power versus power, man.
I'm going for Khalil Rountree. I really am. I love his style. I really do. I think he's a gamer. If you want to bet smart money, like smart money, you bet on Pereira. That's what you're doing.
At the end of the day, it would seem as though his path to victory is to knock Pereira out. That's not easy to do. He said the other day to the Schmo, I've never shot for a takedown in my career. I don't intend to do it the night that I'm standing in front of Pereira. Dude, Khalil Rountree Jr., it would seem as though when you watch Pereira, he shouldn't just play with fire, because we've seen Pereira knock out the best strikers in the world. Well, you've seen Alex get hurt by Izzy twice. If he gets hit by Khalil Rountree, that is not good, because Khalil Rountree has power like no one else in the division.
Alex is a big star. Honestly, this is a good matchup for him. This is a really good matchup for him. A guy that hasn't been tested against the type of skill that's at the top of the division. Just physicality. He's like, I think Khalil's like 6 feet tall, 5'11" or something like that. And reach isn't. He's got long arms, but that height advantage for that. And Alex is one of the top 3 tall guys in the division, right? And Khalil's kind of on the shorter side. So there's a physicality difference there, as well as the fact of, I don't think we've ever seen Khalil's ever fought 5 rounds. And we've seen, if you've watched Khalil fight, he gets tired. He gets tired fairly early into the fight. Now, the Dustin Jacoby fight, I watched this fight while I was preparing for Khalil. Khalil lost all 3 rounds of this fight. So the 5-fight win streak for me is, you got to take it with a little bit of grain of salt. I see this as a complete mismatch and one-sided fight for Alex Pereira. The styles match up perfectly for him. Here's one thing that I will say in this fight. It's a fight. At the end of the day, it is a fight. Anything can happen in a fight. Crazy things can happen. On any given day, number 8 can become champion. I'm going to be honest. I see a way where that actually could happen. One thing that I do see that is going for Khalil's a southpaw. Alex, if you have multiple weapons and you have ways to fire off from hands and kicks and combos like that, if you actually have weapons and threats, credible threats from the southpaw stance, Alex struggles with those. He actually struggles with that. If you go back and you watch the second fight in the UFC against Izzy, more so he started to add more strikes and more threats from the southpaw stance. So he added more threats from the southpaw stance as opposed to the first fight where Izzy fought Alex. He would go southpaw, and it kind of froze Alex a little bit, but he didn't really throw anything. There was no really threats, no real anything from there. That was an adjustment he made in the second fight that worked out for him. Khalil's a natural southpaw. He has weapons. He's able to. He does hit hard. He can drop bombs. If he does land, he can put you out. I think if he actually uses his southpaw stance to a degree, I think he can't cause some problems for Alex. Knockout from Alex, probably early, first round, I'd say.
I know Khalil Rountree. He's a teammate of mine. Whether Alex Pereira was the champion or not, this is the fight that he wants. He wants to challenge himself against the former two-time Glory kickboxing champion. This is who Khalil Rountree wants to fight. And Khalil Rountree's not going to shoot a takedown. I've trained with him for years. I know he's going to come out there and give the fans what they want.
Like, I have no intentions on shooting any takedowns or like trying to take what people would consider the easy route, you know? Like, I'm here to, honestly, like, I want to put on a fight to remember, you know, like, because for me, this is something like, this is a fight that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And this is a moment in my story that I'm going to remember. So I want to do the same thing and deliver the same thing for the fans. I want this to be one of those fights where, you know, people talk about for years to come. I don't feel scared. Scared is not something I feel. It's just excitement. You know, I'm like, when people talk about Alex and what he possesses, I see very similar, you know, things that I have in my game and how I kind of perceive myself. Don't care what other people think and what, you know, like their opinions, but how I view it. So for me to have this opportunity, I'm excited. It's not like a scared or no, dude, I'm excited. I'm fired up and I can't wait to put on like the fight of the year, honestly. This is going to be fight of the year, 100%.
I believe in myself 1,000,000%. Like, I'm backing myself in this fight. There's not a lot of bad feelings or like, you know, I think I respect the dude. I respect what he's done. I respect what he's able to do. And I'm going to leave it at that, right? Everything else, like, I got to go in there and I got to do what I got to do. And I'm going to fight my best, you know? I'm going to give him the best version of me. We don't even know what that's like yet. Last time everybody saw me fight was Anthony Smith, and that wasn't even my best. So, like, now I'm still training. I'm still grinding to hopefully produce a better result than I did in that fight. So you guys already seen what he can do. Now I'm going to show you guys what I can do.
Comment below who you think will win at UFC 307.